for it's another classic in our history. Mori was Japanese, one of our early students. He held a degree of Doctor of Philosophy from the University of Tokyo. He sat in our classes day after day, week after week, when our courses were shorter than they are now. The daily expression of his face indicated the humdrum that chiropractic was overrated. There wasn't anything to it as we claimed. He fussed and he fidgeted. He told us brutally he was wasting valuable time. We struggled in vain to liberate his mind from his past psychological prejudices. At last he decided to quit. No use chasing good money after useless ideas. Was he undereducated in right ideas? Was he overeducated to wrong ideas? Did he know too many things not so? Was chiropractic too simple for his complex mind? It was in the year the UCA was formed, 13 of us. We closed the convention sessions by hiring the grandpa to take us to Linwood, 8 miles down the Mississippi, where we held an all-day picnic. Shegetaro thought all of us were cracked, off in the upper story, nobody home any of the time. He brought along his fishing pole. He left the crowd so he'd get away from these crackpots to be in good company with himself. He went down the river a ways, within seeing distance, sat on a boulder in immaculate white suit, put on bait and waited for the fish to bite. This other fellow felt sorry for Shegetaro because he couldn't see what we saw, couldn't understand what we understood. We stood to one side watching him. His face was a mile long. His pole would drop in the water while he meditated about the shortcomings of imbecilities of the white race that lived on top of Brady Hill. His head would drop on his chest. If ever there was a dejected, forlorn, discouraged, and disconsolate person, he was it personified. After trying for 2.5 hours to catch one of those Mississippi mudcats, he suddenly jumped up on the rock, dancing, yelling, and screaming like a wild Indian on the warpath. We thought he had gone berserk. We rushed to his rescue, thinking he might drown himself. Then he told this odd story. Suddenly, I woke up. I was trying to readjust myself in relation to what was being taught here. I seemingly couldn't piece together today's crazy quilt of ideas with what I thought I formerly knew. I had to fight the conclusion that I either had to be everything I was before I came here, or I had to dump all of it overboard and adopt everything taught here. The fight was, which had to go. All of a sudden, as I looked out over the river, there came a brilliant bolt of light that rapidly came towards me from across the river, growing larger and larger and more brilliant as it approached, until it finally hit me all of a sudden with the rapidity of a skyrocket going off. It hit like a bolt of lightning. I suddenly grasped what it was. It was then I found myself. It is now as clear as day. I am the happiest man alive. What was it that awakened Shegetaro Morikubo from his lethargy? What is it that awakens men sometimes? Who knows how far-reaching something we may think, say, or do today will affect the lives of millions tomorrow.